Hey guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. Today we have an all-new Project Pan update. So before we get into it, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel before you leave. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy, and let's get into it. Alright, so this month feels like a bit of a weird month. I feel like last month was very exciting. We had a lot leading up to that weren't. This month, I'm pretty happy with my progress. I really am. But let's just hop into it. So first up, I wanted to talk about my Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. I think I only used this a couple of times this month. And I mentioned last month that I was finally able to get the stopper out, and there's actually so much more product left. So while I was sure this was going to be an empty this month, it's definitely not. You can see I'm still scraping the sides. I'm still really working on it, but at the same time, there's still so much more product left in this one. So this one I think is going to take us to the very end of the project, and I'm not even sure that it will be finished this year, but I will keep working on this one. I do love this for under foundations, just to give a little bit of glow and life to the skin. But then sometimes I get using other primers and kind of forget to use this. So you can of course use this on top of foundation as well. It's just that that's not my preferred method. I prefer this under foundation. So I do love this, but I am trying to use it up because I do have the e.l.f. product. So I don't really need this little mini in my collection anymore, but I think this one is going to take me at least until the very end to finish. Next up is my MAC Cream Sheen Lipstick in the shade Modesty. So you can see I am really close on this one, but I definitely overestimated how long it takes to use up a lipstick. I have used up full lipstick tubes before, but I don't think I really understood how long I was using them before that happened. So this is just my favorite nude lipstick. This just goes with everything. This is the perfect My Lips But Better shade. This is also a very creamy, comfortable formula. I love this. It's just that I've had it for a long time, so that's why I'm trying to use it up. And it's taken me forever. I've had this in since the very beginning, and I've definitely made a lot of progress on it. It's very slow. I don't think I made much progress at all in the month of October, so I will try to use it up a little bit more. I was debating on taking this one out, but given that we're so close to the end of the project at this point, I think I'll just leave it in and keep working on it. Next up is a product I actually added last month, so I finally hit pan on my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Bronzer. So I took it out and I wanted to add in a new bronzer contour product, so I put in my Patrick Ta Cream Contour and Powder Bronzer Duo. I'm only trying to hit pan on the cream contour. Again, I have mine in the shade She's Statuesque. I love this. I do like the contour more. It's very creamy, very blendable. It is the perfect contour shade, but the bronzer I find to be a little bit too warm for me. So I'm only trying to hit pan on the cream. I definitely think I can do it. I've definitely made some really good progress. There is definitely a little bit more of a dent there than there was initially, but we have not hit pan yet. I do think I can hit pan on this by the end of the year. I do like to use this as a contour and then I go over with a powder bronzer. Not always this one though, but I do think I can at least hit pan in the contour cream by the end of the year. I use it all the time. It doesn't feel like a chore to use it, so I definitely think I can do it. I just need to stay consistent. So next up, I believe is another one I added last month. This is my NARS Light Reflecting Foundation. This is my all-time favorite Holy Grail foundation. This just looks so beautiful on the skin, and those light reflecting properties just give the skin the healthiest glow that's not too glowy, not that it makes you look oily or sweaty or anything like that, but it just gives the skin the prettiest natural lit from within glow. It also blends it like a dream. It is expensive and the pump is really awful. And I am so close to being done with this. Yesterday I had this turned completely upside down to get product out. Like, I've been taking the pump off and I had this completely turned upside down. I think I still have another couple of uses in it though, so I'm not calling it an empty just yet. It will definitely be an empty for the month of October, which is exciting. You know, it's always exciting to go through a product like a foundation, but I think I still have a couple more uses, so I'm not calling this an empty yet, but I definitely made a ton of progress, and I do want to use this up for the end of October, especially because I do want to repurchase it for the Sephora sale. Okay, next up is a product that recently started making crazy progress, and this is my Natasha Denona I Need a Nude lip crayon in the shade Natasha. So this was very much like the lipstick, progress every month, but very slow and steady progress. And then all of a sudden, the last 2 months, I've made so much progress on this little pencil. So it's getting pretty tiny. I think this is another one that could easily be used up by the end of October if I keep using it, because it is shrinking rapidly at this point. It's getting a little bit hard to use. So that tells me that this is almost done. Again, this lip liner is one of my favorites. It is very long wearing. It's also just very precise. It's not too dry that it's tugging, but it's not so creamy that it's just kind of bleeding everywhere. It's a fabulous formula. I love the shade Natasha in particular because it is such a My Lips But Better shade. It gives the lips almost like a perfect natural looking contour, which I love. This goes very, very well with my MAC Modesty lipstick. So it's perfect that they're in the project together, but this is such a beautiful lip liner. I've been trying to use it up though because I do have a backup and I just don't need backups. So I'm just trying to use this one up, so I only have the one, but this is definitely an all-time favorite lip liner, and it's been fun to use. It hasn't felt like a chore. It's just kind of funny to me how from February to August, it was the slowest amount of progress, and then September and October, these drastic dips. So definitely made a lot of progress on this. Next is the last product I added last month, and this is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Skin Perfecting Micro Powder in the shade 1 Fair. So I had my Dior Powder No Powder in the project all year so far. I finally hit pan on it, which was my goal. It was not to use it up, it was just to hit pan. And I decided that I was really missing my Charlotte Tilbury, so I added this one in. The goal is not to use it up, but it's just to see how much product I can use before the end of the year. It's quite possible I'll be able to use this up if I use it every single time I do my makeup. I've already made a huge amount of progress in it since adding it into the project. I love this because it really does give the skin sort of an airbrushed look. It adds a little bit of coverage, but it really just kind of blurs pores and just kind of brings everything together. So I do love this powder. What I also love is that this is a refillable compact. So when I'm done with it, I can pop the powder out and just buy the refillable pan, which I probably will do. Maybe not right away, but I definitely will. I love this powder. I think it's so wonderful, and you can see I've made a ton of progress. So I've definitely been working on it. I think it might actually be possible to use this up for the end of the year, but I just kind of want to see how much I can get done. Okay, the one empty I have for the month of September is my deluxe sample of the One Size Secure the Blur Makeup Magnet Primer. So this is a really, really nice primer. This isn't really too sticky. It's more like a gel consistency, and it just kind of smooths the skin, blurs pores, tries to lock in the makeup, and I think it does a really, really nice job. I'm not going to repurchase because I have a ton of primers in my collection for some reason. I don't know why, but I am trying to work my way through those. This one I just think is really, really nice, and if I had a minimal primer collection, I probably would repurchase this. I'm happy I've got it used up. I did enjoy it. I'm not going to repurchase it yet, but I did enjoy it, and I am happy that it is now used up and considered an empty. So since I finished a product, I wanted to add in one more. So this is the Winky Lux Unibrow Universal Brow Pencil. I have the shade Taupe, and for the longest time in this project, I haven't been adding in brow products because I found that they were guaranteed empties. Like every 2 or 3 months, there was a guaranteed empty. But this one, I've been sort of unofficially working on, and there's still a ton of product in here. I really like this one. This is one of those more triangle shape brow pencils. It's not the most precise, but it does give you a really nice quick brow fill. And what I like about this is that the finish of it almost looks like a powder, so it looks a little bit more natural. I really do enjoy this pencil quite a bit, but this is another one that I've kind of been working on all year long, and I don't feel like there's any progress. This seems to be literally the never-ending brow pencil for me, so I decided to put it in the project so I could actually track my usage. I like this one quite a bit. Again, I'm just really trying not to keep a ton of brow products on hand because, I don't know, I just don't need to. I'm not really a brows girl. Like, I want them done. I want to fill them in. I want to throw in a brow gel and I want to be done with it. I don't get fancy with brow soap and brow waxes, things like that. That's just not my thing. I just want them to be done. So I really don't try to keep a lot of brow products on hand. So I have this, I'm gonna put it in the project, and I just kind of want to see where we land on this one. I don't think I'll have this one used up by the end of the year because it is a never-ending pencil, like I mentioned, but I wanted to track my usage anyways. So that is it. That is my update for the end of September. I feel like I'm making some pretty good progress. I have some really great products in here that I'm really enjoying, but that is it for me today. Thank you so very much for watching. If you are currently working on a project pan, let me know down below how you're making it with yours. I would love to hear from you. And that is it for me today. If you're new here, I hope you'll consider subscribing before you go. I do upload at least 3 new videos every single week. Thank you again so very much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!